translates into education. And we might ask ourselves, from God's point of view, what does education really symbolize? What's it all about? Is it about GPA? Is it about straight A's? Is it about test scores? Is it about college admissions? Is it about applications to schools and all that kind of stuff? All kinds of different ways that you can pay for your college education, things like that. Not really. God is not really that interested in things like GPA scores and straight A's. What He does talk about is one thing. If we could reduce education and preparation down to one word, I would call it that they should aim to be godly. Because if they are a godly individual, then whatever smarts they have, whatever skills they have, if they are godly people, they will automatically take them and use and employ those skills, those talents, those smarts for God's greater good, for His purposes. And so yeah, it's not wrong to focus on skill sets, it's not wrong to focus on brain power and all that kind of stuff, but it's a better thing to focus on godliness so that when they hit this door, they will be able to go and fulfill the plan that God has for their lives. In contrast to that, the world and non-believers will tell young people that they should do something that starts with the letter F. This is the F word, and it's fun. You should have fun in life because, guess what? When you look at all of this, this does not look like fun. This looks like work, it looks like drudgery, it looks like a drag, and so therefore, what we need to do is we need to have fun right in here because once you go through this adult door, you're not going to be able to have much fun. Now, in the second part of this video, we're going to talk about these two differences and where this takes young people. Thanks for watching. Hi, this is going to be Life at a Glance Part 2. If you did not see Life at a Glance Part 1, I would encourage you to stop this video and go watch Life at a Glance Part 1 and then come back and watch this Part 2. What we're going to do is we've already started the timeline here of an 80-year lifespan. We saw that from Psalm chapter, so the 90th Psalm, Psalm written by Moses, the only one. And what we're going to do now is finish off this talk, but what we're going to do is we're going to focus on young people and what should be going on in terms of the preparation and the education that people should be attaining and achieving. And we saw last time that there's kind of a tension here between godliness, seeking to be godly, and having fun. Now, I'm not a person who is opposed to having fun, but sometimes you can do a lot of dumb and stupid things and call it fun, and it gets you hurt, it's dangerous, it's foolish, it's wasting time, and you can see that you've only got 20 years to prepare for 75% of adult living, and that is if you get a full 80 years from God. And so I'm going to, just to give a little bit more space, I'm going to back this up just a little bit here, because we're going to need that space. But this is still 20%, 25% of your youth. And what we want to do is I'm going to put youth up here and take this out. And we're going to put here for 10 years and here for 15. And if you are a young person watching this, if you are a young teenager or something like that, you're beyond, or you're in between the ages of 10 and 20, I would recommend that you pay very close attention to what we're going to say here because this is really critical for the rest of your life, and you'll see why in just a few minutes. So most of the people that I deal with are largely in this section right here, and that's between about the ages of 15 to about maybe 22, 23, something like that. And in right about 12, right here, 12 years of age, something begins to happen to young people. It is called the onset of puberty. And puberty is that time when your biological clock goes off and your body starts producing chemicals called hormones. And those hormones do things to the human body. And what hormones do to kids, 12, 13, 14 years of age, is that they turn little boys into hunks and they turn little girls into babes, generally speaking. And if you did not turn out to be a hunk or a babe, you probably turned out to be a hunk or a babe wannabe. Most people look in the mirror and they go, oh, bye, look at this. And when you're going through the process, it's really disturbing. I mean, you don't know what you're going to look like. You don't know, and everything is kind of growing in different proportions and different stages. And so your hair does funny things. bodies change, parts start to emerge or whatever, and things change physically for the person going through this stage called puberty. Now, when that happens, it's very unnerving, but something else happens to a body organ that we fail to understand accurately, and that is the human brain. And so when hormones hit the male human brain, it actually causes a little bit of brain damage because the two spheres of the brain actually have a diminishing or a killing, if you will, of some of the neurological contacts and the bridges between the two hemispheres. Women, on the other hand, females, they have a different kind of hormone running through their system, and generally those strong links between the two hemispheres remain intact. And so women tend to be better multitaskers than men do, and men usually have a much better ability to function and to focus at one or two particular things at a time, and so they end up being able to major on one or two things and get them done very well and block out everything else. Women tend to be the multitaskers, and you stop and think that women generally are the nurturers. They're the ones who do spend most of their time with the little ones, raising the next generation, and they need to be able to multitask, to do laundry and watch the kids and shop and cook and all these other things around the home. And so women by nature are more domesticated in that sense. That is their sphere of operation. Men are usually out there providing, protecting, defending, earning the keep, bringing home the bacon and things like that. And so you have both sexes coming together in a family structure, so you have them wired differently, and the hormones prepare the little ones to assume adult responsibilities in their brain. And that is what is going on in puberty. Now, let's ask a question. Young people want to have fun. God says they should be godly. And when they get to this stage, they realize these things are happening to them. They're having trouble thinking clearly sometimes. They're having trouble finding clothes that fit all the time, and your body's changing, you're growing and all that kind of stuff, so you need to continue to buy new clothes. But this whole tension right here leads young people to think, okay, well, if I'm going to walk through this adult door, I want to go out and try adult things. I want to go out there and see what it's like. I want to do the things that I see adults do. Now, what do adults do? Well, they do a lot of things. They can drive cars, they can go to parties, they can smoke, they can drink alcohol legally. But young people, because by definition they don't come equipped with lots of wisdom, they want to go out there and try things. And another thing that happens with hormones is that when it is doing that brain thing, changing the brain, making sure that you have an adult brain that goes with an adult body, there is also a factor of stickiness that your brain gets that you get no other time in life. Your brain is actually, because of the hormones, going through a greater reorganizational structure than the rest of your life combined. What that means is that when young people decide to go out and have some fun, and they do it and they get all these extreme pleasures, they might be drinking, they might be snorting, they might be shooting, they might be sleeping around, they may do all these different things, and it gives them feelings